Yes, Charles, as I said, throughout the speech, not once did the president even as much as acknowledge the fact that, there is an instigator of this crisis who is his own political appointee, the FCT minister. Not once did the president mention this. The impression, the unfortunate impression, Charles, that the president has given is that he himself, has his fingerprints on this crisis, and that he's an active supporter of Nyesom Wike in this unfortunate crisis. And I believe that the president should have, been able to rise above this partisanship. And this evening proves that he didn't do that. And I think it's an unfortunate situation for the country. Wike administration for nearly 2 years. But Charles, I resigned exactly because of, his propensity for crisis. I joined the administration because I strongly believed that, we had the mandate of the people to deliver service. But on all 4 critical, metrics of development in education, because you need education to train manpower for sustainable development, we failed. For nearly 8 years, not a single teacher was employed. Teachers were not paid. We had chaos in the education sector. We had the highest number of children. Rivers State had the highest number of children out of school in the South. Because education was simply defunded. We also had very serious crisis in the health sector. As a matter of fact, my colleague who was the Commissioner for Health, who insisted that such a critical sector should not be ignored, Dr. Dagme was sacked. Simply because he insisted and resisted the cynical neglect of the health sector. We also had very serious problems, of lack of investment in agriculture, because we actually wanted to bring back food sustainability in the agricultural sector in Rivers State. Governor Wike didn't want to hear about all of these things. So Charles, because I really wanted to make a difference, as Commissioner for Information in the State Executive Council, and I saw that the governor didn't have commitment for development, I simply resigned, from the administration. But there's something else, Charles. Nyesom Wike, frankly, has, a very strong propensity for violence, and I'm not a violent person. As you can see, his rhetoric, his body language, his overall tendencies towards chaos and towards complete dysfunction. And this was not something I was prepared to accept as a public official. So I resigned from the administration, and frankly, I feel sadly vindicated, that this tendency has now dragged on to the national stage and has now put Rivers State in such an unfortunate situation, Charles.